tried to express this before the race started to let people know that those are lanes that you're probably going to have to let off on and try to learn that trigger control. But we see everybody pretty much close together. The lowest being my wife there, 37.3, all the way up to 45. So within 10 lap difference of each other. As we see my wife stop the track a few times on her own, having her car there stalled out on the high banks. I know I can't change it right now. I just gave them 2 hours worth of credit. If everybody's ready, we're going to go ahead and skip through. Keep your eyes on the lights. All right, as we skip through, we're fixing to see the lights again. As you can hear the get ready from the speaker out there, that lets them know that they got to watch the lights. As we now have Travis on black here, see how many laps he can turn. As we see him with a very impressive start so far, passing Marley there on yellow, but then coming off there in quick succession there, trying to come out of the corner just a little too quick. Several cars taking some hits there. As we finally get a yellow flag called there with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. We're starting to enter into halfway of this race being completed. Marley, they're out in the lead with a total laps of 160. Ethan M in second with 147, and Ian or INH there in third with 146. So we can kind of tell just here the differences here from Jonathan all the way up. Jonathan 142, Travis H 144, Zoe F 145, 147, 148, 161. We can see the variation between these laps. And not only does this race here for rookies let them know that it kind of gives them confidence that they're not as slow as they think they are on red. If we take a quick look here with Jonathan there on red, it looks like everybody is just chasing him down and beating him. But really, like I said before, it just boils down to he's got a whole lot more track there, especially in Dead Man's Corner, that he has to go around where everybody else is able to cut that quick corner. And that's where they're gaining all that time on him, is in those corners. Not so much in the straight stretch, but the corners where a lot of that time is being lost for red. So keeping that in mind, it's not a good idea to force the subject or try to run it as hard as you can through red to keep up with them, because you'll never keep up with them fully. It's best just to run a good, consistent lap and stay in the track and get your laps as consistently speaking as possible. But for black, purple, and yellow, it is definitely something that you want to get off that trigger, get back in it as quick as possible, and not come out. As we just seen there, black of Travis H gaining a lap on Nick where Nick came off. And that's essentially what happens. If you come off, you can go ahead and count it as a lost lap, because somebody's going to get another lap on you. Now that little bit of burst of speed that you just seen there was because we have cell time still on. Yet again, I forgot to turn that off. That happens sometimes, but we see Marley here actually increasing her average again. Travis H now coming into the mix here, tying Marley there with 51 laps on black. Travis kind of had a little bit of a rough go there on purple with 44, but he made up for it there with his blue lane of 51. So there's not much different variation between Marley and Travis here, as we see Zoe now starting around that bend to where she's going to be on orange lane up next, and she's going to be in her lower lane. Zoe's going to be a force to be reckoned with, as we see in these next few heats. She's going to start increasing her times. You also start seeing Jonathan increasing his times along with Nick A a little bit. Now, whether or not Jonathan and Nick can breach that gap that Zoe's fixing to make, one of your front runners here will definitely be Zoe for sure, if she can keep her car on purple and black. Let's go to the road cam here, or the circle cam here. We can see everybody getting their stuff hooked back up, getting their stickers on their cars. soon as I see everybody over there in their driver's station, we'll just give it a go ahead and then we'll start right into the next heat. We are on round robin 5 of 8. You see a little money sign there in the top left above rotate now. That is the reason why they're getting that little bit of burst speed. I wish it wasn't that way, but like I said, I forgot. All right, if everybody's ready, I want to go ahead and skip through. All right, I heard that. So just wait a few more moments here. Our race leader there, Marley, getting her car rotated. Making another roll around there. We got 30 seconds. Might just wait and let this one just roll out on its own. All right. Looks like we're ready. Going to go ahead and skip through. Watch your lights. All right, here we go. Starting this, Nick will turn the first lap here of this round robin 5 of 8 as we're starting to see a little bit of shaping up. But like I said, keeping an eye there on Zoe there in the purple car. That car seems to be a little bit faster possibly as she's turned some pretty impressive numbers on the upper lanes. Getting involved in an incident down there at Dead Man's Corner, flipped off into the center field of the track. You need to go out there and race. Oh, okay. Just double click it, I suppose, and then go to pictures or whatever. I don't know. So we head back racing my wife. All right, seems like we're having issues here again. There we go. A little bit of a connection issue with the computer going on, it seems, since I put that update on here for the video card. We're having a couple issues. If any of you own a PC, you know the struggle it takes to own a PC whenever you do updates. It always brings other issues, it seems. But been doing this long enough, it's probably just a minor issue that needs to be fixed. As we got the new video drivers here, so maybe that'll help us out video driving wise. So we see in the GPU uses, we are using quite a bit less, at least in this software, 48% where we was in the 50s. So that's good. And also a whole lot less percentage being used in the CPU. So get several cars there off in Dead Man's Corner. Randy O.G. Kirtley and Paul Woosley there getting those cars back on. We do appreciate those guys here at Lanes Raceway for helping out. As we see Zoe there increasing her number, she's been involved in a few incidents, really needs to make up quite a few laps as we see Ian H there actually turning an impressive amount of laps there on red. Nick A, of course, turning the most laps there on black with 40. Just goes to show you the consistency pays off there. Marley still holding down the lead by several laps, almost 10. Travis H in second place, coming out of the lower lane, so he's going to start slowing down a bit. As we go to TrackMate here, and we see Travis there coming out of yellow, so his next lane will be orange. He's going to start moving up the rotations here. White and red, of course, being able to turn the least amount of laps. But with this group, it seems we have a large amount of higher turn laps there on red, especially in comparisons to white. But we see Ian able to turn out a little bit more than white. I guess that proves it. But we still see down low where that we have 51 laps as the main high lead here between Travis and Marley here. 55 of Marley turned there on purple. So we still got somewhat of a battle here between these two, as we see Marley and Travis both moving up the field, and we're going to start seeing Zoe move down the field along with IN or ENH. So it's really between these four that we see right now. As we got the averages here, we see 45 to 48. It's Marley's got them edged out just a little bit. We'll see how that goes when she gets on the upper lanes. Sometimes these cars tend to be a little bit quicker down low than up high, like in comparison to one another. Then other times you have some of them that really run good up high, and then they're kind of dogs down low. Even though they still turn faster lap times on black than they do red, it's just a variation between each motor. And it's not very much difference. We're usually talking within 1 or 2 laps. But definitely Zoe at this time is definitely going to want hers to shine on the upper lanes for sure. All right, if everybody's ready, just watch your lights. So TrackMate here, getting us back in. Seems like so far the streams are up and running decently now. Don't have any big dropouts. I'm trying to keep this door open as it wants to spring load. You hear a big slamming noise every once in a while. I just let the computer breathe a little bit. Randy Kirtley getting that car of Nick A back on really quick, as we see. Nick A kind of braking kind of hard there on the inside of yellow. The blue car there, him in the blue car of Jonathan, really going as hard as they can possibly go, back and forth, giving it to each other. Randy Kirtley somewhat getting overwhelmed there as he gets his car put back on. Down low now, Zoe turning an impressive 14 laps as she's on her black lane. Then start seeing that maybe position that Zoe's holding transfer between her and Travis here shortly, as she's already got 2 laps up on Travis. Marley there with 17 laps there on white. Usually about what you would see there on white lane. Just really needs to keep it on, stay consistent. Get several cars off. Randy Kirtley reaching for the button. So far, none of the racers have hit buttons. The buttons are there. They can kill the track also, but kind of interesting to see that nobody's going for that. A little old school, I guess you would say. So a little bit of a cluster there happening. We see Randy Kirtley there working on a car in the top left of your screen here. I don't know if maybe it's a bent over body possibly. Body pin came off. We have had several wrecks here today in this class, which is kind of cool to see, but at the same time, it's kind of abnormal. Usually we don't have a whole lot of wrecks in this class. Randy Kirtley hitting the button to start this track again. Keep an eye on these lap times. So we see 2.49 of T down there, and we also see a 2.19 of Zoe. So that right there lets you know about the differences between the lanes. But Zoe really giving it all she's got there on black lane, as that car is really, really fast. That blue car there is really shining today, and she's keeping it on. So far, I don't think I've seen her get involved in a wreck there down on black. So get a little bit of a lane change there between Ethan M and T, as T takes the last position there. We're starting to see that real end factor there. Within 5 laps, Zoe F and Travis H. Travis turning a good amount of laps here, 44 on orange lane. Marley still holding the lead by 3 laps. She's really going to have to speed up a little bit to stay ahead, as we get several more cars off here. And somebody double tapped the button, but I think we got them all under control. With OG Randy Kirtley quick hands, it doesn't take much to get those back underway. So take a look at the TrackMate here. We now see an averaging, like I was telling you guys before, As we get these heats to start to rotate the other direction, people start going to the higher side. We see that Marley's car really struggling on the higher sides as her average has dropped significantly to a 47.7, just inching out about .5 average laps above Travis. So it's boiling down between those. We also see Zoe F and Ian's average laps increasing here. We got other people down here too. We're going to see Jonathan this next heat, and next two heats, actually, the final two heats, his is actually going to climb significantly. Nick's, we're going to see his probably stay about the same, maybe even go down a little bit, as we can see 43.5. And Nick kind of struggles up high, we see with the 29. Also, Ethan M here on the green and the blue lane, if orange is an indication, he should go up a little bit too with his 43.3. He probably ends up with 43.6 or so, I would say. 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. I'm going to head over to the oval cam and take a quick look, see how everybody's shaping up, see if they're getting over there. Got a few of them in the Christmas spirit. Here at Lanes Raceway, we got the candy canes going around the track and the Christmas lights up top. All right, if everybody's ready, didn't mean to scare you there. We're going to go ahead and start this heat. So we're into our 7th of 8th heat here. As we see my wife doing something crazy with some cars. She's back in the race, it looks like. Just now turning laps, it seems. T there on black, kind of a little stuttery there on the black lane. See fellow friend and pinball lover Glenn Burton there coming in, also known as Big Daddy 3. Let's see how Glenn's doing on the pinball. So we see Big Daddy 3 here in Godzilla. Me and him both got knocked down a position by Kay. He's also in 3rd there on Mandalorian. 4th place there on Rush. So he's definitely a front runner. Here at Lanes Raceway, if you're interested, we're going to start a league, both singles and couples. The way the couples works, one couple uses the right flipper, the other couple uses the left flipper, and that's how couples work. So you kind of got to work together to get a good score. Then, of course, singles, it's just everybody for themselves, 4 people to a table. We're going to do some points and stuff like that at the end of the league, give out some good pinball time and a couple trophies and stuff. That I got a real special trophy from Stern I'd like to give out. So we'll see how that works too. But excited to see that for sure. As I love pinball, and we're actually in the talks about right now about getting a new pinball table. A few of them up for grabs, as we want them new in a box for sure, and with the Stern Insider so we can keep track of those scores. And actually a very reputable dealer is who we're thinking about going through here in the local area. Ooh, as we see 2 cars coming off in a quick fashion there. Glenn Burden getting Marley back on there on red as she's barely holding on to that lead. We see Travis H just right up underneath her, getting her within 1 lap. And he getting Nick A on there on orange. So we see Zoe F there, fixing to probably pass Travis at 2nd position. Like I said, keep your eyes on Zoe, as her car tends to be very fast today in that blue car and on yellow. If we go back green racing, we can see she's able to inch him out just a little bit. So got him within a solid 1 lap here on yellow, as it's tending to boil down within 1 lap to our top 3 here. So we take a quick look here at TrackMate to see 31, 31, 30, and 323 of Ian. So Ian's going to make up quite a few more laps this next one here, as he's on purple. Ian kind of struggled there on black, wasn't able to take advantage of trying to match the 51 laps of everyone else as we go into our next rotation here. 46.1 as it was that he was turned. Taking a quick look outside cam, it looks like we're starting to lose the rain. It's been raining all morning. I know they're going to have a parade tonight here in Livermore, as I know my wife's really excited as she's going to be in it. So we're happy to see that rain pass away so that these people of Livermore can have them a good little parade out there. We see Randy Curley in the top leader points of Fairview IT Management. Rolling back around though, as we see in the oval race, everybody getting their stuff hooked up, waiting on the last few as we roll into this last heat here. Good. All right, I just got to go ahead. I'm going to skip it up and start this heat. It all boils down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Will Marley be able to hold it off? Will she give it up to either Zoe or possibly Travis? It's the moment, but it's all within one lap of each other. As they're right there neck and neck with each other for sure. 777, 888, 999. We get an incident to take place. Were they involved? Well, it looks like Marley and Travis possibly involved in that incident. As Marley gives over the lead to Zoe, Zoe actually coming back out of nowhere, it seems, to take the lead there on Orange Lane with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Marley and Travis both hoping that Zoe comes off, as it seems that Zoe just came off there, giving them somewhat of an idea to catch back up. Within 2 laps, though, we have several cars coming off here. That was the purple car of Ian. Get 2 more cars coming off, one of them rolling around there. That was the blue car of Ethan. As we get a breakout and a rider there on orange. So Zoe had a rider there. She went through. We had another one go through within the breakout time period of 1.2 seconds. About half of what people can really turn. Pretty good breakout, really. Zoe there with 32 laps, 33, a couple laps ahead of everybody. Marley there struggling down low, whether the heat in her car or something. She's kind of stuttering there on yellow. Or I guess that's green. I've been staring at this monitor for too long. She's on green, I'm sorry. You stare at that monitor long enough, that green becomes yellow. You have to almost look down here at the T to see what yellow actually looks like. I guess I'm burning my retinas. The T's actually on yellow. So Marley's actually on green on a little bit higher playing field there than the orange. Zoe being able to capitalize on that lead as we see Travis kind of falling off there as he's on red. So he's real high up on the work there. Ian able to gain a few more laps down there on purple. Got it within 4 or 5 laps. He might be able to take 3rd position if he really drives hard and maybe gets a wreck to take place. 8 seconds left to go. As we do get a wreck to happen. And I see that he was involved, so no way of gaining a little bit of a lap there. So you're probably looking at your final standings here. And as we see in this final heat, Zoe was able to pull off the victory there with 382 laps. Marley in 2nd place and Travis H in 3rd to round up your podium finishers. We'll get a picture with these guys here shortly as I take you here to the track mate. Let you get a final look here as how close it was. So from 40 laps all the way up to 47.8. So within 10 lap average of each other. And that's a variable probably pretty good for the distance between skill level. But that's all we have for this. If you want, check on Facebook and you can see a picture of Zoe, Marley, and Travis in their top 3. Thank you for watching.